A SOUQ morning to you and yours once again. It's SOUQ News Television, and we welcome you to a very special day and a happy Idul Maulud to my brothers and sisters. This lovely Monday morning, 7 a.m. as we delve into SOUQ Business Landscape. My name is Ikenna Mbah. On the show, we take a look at headlines across the world, from continent to continent, as we look at those headlines that we'll learn from, the ones that we'll discard, and the ones that we'll just read for read's sake. So remember, as we get on from publication to publication, we're looking at Business Day Nigeria. Connect with us, engage with us, hashtag SBL across board and across all social media, from YouTube to all the rest of them. We're also on TikTok, by the way. Yes, we are. All right, so the first headline: Dangote Refinery fuels Nigeria after 28-year lull. It's been 28 years since anything petrol came out of the country. So here, Dangote counters NNPC and says sold product cheaper in dollars, which is what he's saying, countering NNPC. And refinery eyes 100% delivery via sea. I don't know how that is remarkable, because it's always via sea. Has never gone by air, has it? Okay, Nigeria's infrastructure funds struggle in crowded capital markets. Nigeria's infrastructure funds struggle in crowded capital markets. Nigeria's infrastructure funds has a total commitment capital of about 330 billion naira, which has been hit by reduced investors' attention. Investors are drawing back this year, 2024. Now, these capital raising efforts by some of the infrastructure fund managers have not recorded this kind of success that they posted in previous years. So complaints are going on, but it's looking up. We have no choice, do we? All right, ABC Health appointed new secretariat for combating malaria in Africa. ABC Health appointed new secretariat for combating malaria in Africa. First of all, I just have to say that there's the vaccine that's coming, and experts are touting it to be a miracle cure. They call it, quote and unquote, a miracle cure for malaria. Like, yes, say if you shoot it, you're good, and you don't have to go through all that 3-day swallowing of drugs when you're hit with malaria. So this refers to that, and the African Business Coalition for Health, ABC Health, has been appointed the new secretariat for the Corporate Alliance on Malaria in Africa. The coalition notes that this development allows them to take stewardship of what KAMA is doing from Global Business Coalition for Health. That's another arm of it. This is the arm in New York, and is marked a pivotal moment in its journey towards enhancing health systems across the continent. For the full gist on that, catch it on page 20. Tinubu's $1 trillion economy plan stumbles on slow growth. That's just as clear as it is. Tinubu's $1 trillion economic plan stumbles on slow growth. We segue right directly onto our next publication, Business Daily, out in Kenya, East Africa. How deleted emails, SMSs may derail NSSF bonds trade probe. So deleted emails and SMSs may derail NSSF bonds trade probe. So a leaked central bank letter on this suspected irregular trading of the National SOUQ Security Fund, which just seemed to be a target for most of these illegal business doers, as I call them. So the NSSF funds, government bonds, could derail investigations into these matters amid fears that the suspects may have moved to destroy some key evidences This is said by the CMA investigators, which admits that there are delays since they delayed in confiscating communication gadgets, mobile phones, desktop and laptops. They feel like the suspects will make it difficult for them to retrieve these emails, texts, and WhatsApp messages that has been sent ahead of this irregular trading. So it's cats and dog on this one, government versus the scammers. Sacco loans deposits gap hit 76 billion shilling on increased borrowing. Sacco loans deposits gap hits 76 billion shilling on increased borrowing. So data from Sacco Societies Regulatory Authority, SASRA, has indicated that gross outstanding loans exceeded deposits by 76.4 billion shillings last year, and it's up from a gap of 60 billion shilling the year before, which is 2022. So Saccos has held deposits of 682.2 billion shillings by the end of last year, while lending stood at 758.6 billion shillings. State suspends tolling plan to map new road. So a project to introduce toll stations on key highways across the country was suspended pending fresh identification of roads that would be placed under pay-for-use scheme. So they were going to toll roads, but instead the superior idea came up where they would build more roads instead and put off the toll for later. Treasury says that the project, which targets to raise funds to finance maintenance of the highways and repayment of other roads built by private contractors, but failed to generate enough funds to repay investors, will remain frozen as the state reviews roads and more. So what they're doing is they're plowing that money into creating new roads for better network. Still on Business Daily in Kenya, M-KOPA ordered to pay taxes in Kenya. M-KOPA ordered to pay taxes in Kenya. The Tax Appeals Tribunal orders M-KOPA Holdings to pay taxes in Kenya after the financial technology firm failed to prove that it was managed and controlled all the way from the UK. If that's such a big deal. Okay, well, M-KOPA sought reprieve from the tribunal after the Kenyan Revenue Authority assessed its withholding taxes and pay as you earn at 885 million shillings. Wow. Treasury fails to disburse 153 billion shillings. Treasury fails to disburse 153 billion shilling. Incidentally, right, sometime last year, I think, during the fiscal year ending June 2024, the National Treasury failed to send, then it was 30 billion shillings. Now, 30 billion shillings to counties, for road and stuff. Today, it's 153 million shillings to cover these various payments again. In the space of 1 year, 30 billion, 153 billion. On to South Africa Business Day. South Africa loses out with no blueprints for green minerals. South Africa loses with no blueprint for green minerals. So a strategic policy framework for promoting trade in the minerals used to produce clean energy technologies could add billions of rand to SA's annual exports. This is what experts have talked about, and especially the research activist group called Publish What You Pay has suggested that if South Africa can make that transition, then minerals have the potential to boost annual exports by not just a measly amount, but $11 billion, which is approximately 195 billion rand over the next 4 years. And that's real. SA Bank clients warm to digital platforms. Now, this one caught me, right? I was having a conversation with someone a while ago, and they were talking about how they trust fintech banks. Like that's what they're dealing with, you know. And so here, South Africa's big banks continue to invest heavily. I think they cut the bug as well to enhancing their digital offering to customers, as more than 20 million South Africans have moved and now use digital platforms to do their banking. And as they continue to invest heavily in enhancing this offering to customers, as well as newer technologies that including AI, and making sure they keep those clients and customers. On to Financial Express in Bangladesh. India eyes $10 billion infra push from London funds. So India is looking to attract investment commitments to the tune of $10 billion from funds parked in the City of London's marquee projects, including highway stretches and the National Capital Region's rapid transport systems. And all this they're looking at happening by next year. So a team from the UK will visit project sites in November 2024. Note that majority asset managers based in London, which is the world's second largest financial services center, don't invest in India ordinarily. So this is quite something peculiar. India is still currently in discussions with a host of countries to attract FDI, as net FDI inflows to India declined from to $26.5 billion in fiscal year ending 2024 from last year's $42 billion, fiscal year ending 2023. That's a huge one. London investing in India. We'll look forward to keep you updated on that one. Still in the news, more headlines. Revision of CPI series to rely on 2022-2023 inputs. So the government has completed the household consumption expenditure, this survey, HCES, for the year 2023 and 2024, and a preliminary analysis shows that its results are largely similar to the one of 2 years ago. Still on Financial Express, back page for BB, it's now or never as QCOM gains speed. That one is something you need to check out for. It's on the back page, page 22. So FPIs invest 27,856 creoles in equities in 1 fortnight. So foreign investors have infused the said amount in domestic equities in the first fortnight of this month, owing to the resilience of the Indian market and growing optimism around the potential interest rate cuts as regards the US. Oil India, Total Energies in talks for offshore projects. Oil India, Total Energies in talks for offshore projects. State-owned Oil India Limited, OIL, is in discussions with French energy company Total Energies for exploration of hydrocarbon blocks off the coast of India, either as a technical partner or as a participating interest, quote unquote, equity partner. This senior executive of the company told Financial Express. The firm is looking to bid aggressively under the next open acreage licensing policy bidding rounds, wherein offshore policy bidding is expected to go under the hammer. Adani to supply 6,600 megawatts power to Maharashtra. So Adani Group has won a bid to supply 6,600 megawatts of bundled renewable and thermal power to Maharashtra for the long term after its quotes of 4.08 crore per unit beat the likes of JSW Energy and Torrent Power. Adani is the top power supply company in India. US lenders counter Baiju's founder claim on debts. So these US lenders, represented by Glass Trust, has countered the founder of Baiju, Ravidran's claim to verify debts on the company being merely around 20 crores, and have said that the beleaguered edtech firm will have to pay the entire $1.2 billion term loan B, aside the A, along with interest. The report says Glass Trust has also sued Baiju for the recovery of the said amount. India, still on the news. Onam sets festive tone as premium durables drive sales. So the premiumization trend in consumer durables is consolidating as the durable needs to upgrade to bigger and better products, led by easy financing and rapid technological changes, is driving sales up more this year than last year. Top executives as durables have confirmed this. We will segue on to business standard, right? Banks may face bigger fines for non-compliance. So experts are saying that government will consider allowing higher fines on banks not complying with the regulatory guidelines, amidst concerns that the current penalty amounts may not act as effective deterrents for large organizations or repeat offenders. Shipbuilders from Japan, Korea, keen to invest here. So this is Sonowal is saying this, that coastal states soon to have their own shipping policies. It further goes on to say that such international interest is a testament to attractiveness of India's shipbuilding initiative and the potential benefits of global expertise and capital infusion into the sector. I was going to say earlier, Sonowal is India's Union Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Still on business standard, claims of complete demise of internal combustion engine vehicles, self-serving. This is a quote. There have been pronouncements proclaiming the demise of these vehicles are perhaps more self-serving, hence ignoring customers' needs and challenges which the government faces. This is coming from Rakesh Sharma. Service outlets not stressed. Utilization full in big cities. Service outlets not stressed. Utilization full in big cities. So as several major car makers struggle with a slowdown in India's Mahindra and Mahindra has ended and also has defied the trend with 20.4% year-on-year jump in domestic sales from between April to August this year. For more on that news, catch it on page 2. New look, Chennai town to welcome Ford on its India comeback trail. So this is peculiar. Henry Ford Road, as it's popularly called in the city of Naramalai Nagar, which is located about 50 kilometers from Chennai in India, has remained quiet for the past 2 years since Ford India plant ceased operation and they left in 2022. However, the news is that over the weekend, outsiders could sense and have a feeling of rejuvenation in the air following the company's announcements of its reopening plans. And that's such a huge thing. Due to the inflation and things happening in the country, across the world as well, companies have been known to up and just leave without warning. So this is good news. This is the opposite, because Ford Motors is returning their plants to India. Great stuff. cost of convenience. Restaurants list higher prices in online menus. Restaurants list higher prices in online menus. It's across board actually, but this is India. The convenience of ordering food online usually, of course, comes at a cost, or to be more accurate, at an additional cost. And this is a complaint that's going on. Consumers are generally paying much more, not just more, while ordering food from online platforms, the apps, and all the rest of them, compared to eating at the same restaurant where you sit down and have the meal. Why? Price difference of as much as 100 rupees or even more, without accounting. After this is if this is billed, they're not accounting for tax, they're not accounting for handling charges, they're not accounting for VAT, right? But restaurant owners try to defend themselves by saying that this price difference is due to the commissions that the food delivery platforms are charging. So to eat or not to eat? That is the question. Off away from business standard to Gulf Times. Gulf Times in Qatar. Commercial bank receives A ratings in MSCI ESG assessments. That's such a mouthful. So commercial banks has received A rating in this assessment, and well, MSCI is a leading research and data provider measuring companies, right? And performance, the company's performance on the grounds of environmental, social, and governance, ESG. Those are the factors. It goes to, and I quote, it says, sustainability as a concept and practice is a core part of commercial bank's approach through its commitment to the Qatar National Vision 2030 and more, recently through its corporate sustainability strategy and active support for Qatar's national environmental and climate change strategy. Sluggish data here on page 3, but the headline on the front page: downbeat China factory output. Retail sales add to urgency for stronger stimulus. Downbeat China factory outputs. Retail sales add to urgency for stronger stimulus. On that one, China's industrial output growth slowed to a 5-month low in August, while retail sales and new home prices weakened further, bolstering the case for aggressive stimulus to shore up the economy and help it hit its annual growth targets. Saudi Arabia's inflation rate inches up to 1.6% in August. Saudi Arabia's inflation rate inches up to 1.6% in August. Saudi Arabia's annual inflation rate inched up to 1.6% in August from 1.5% in July. Government data shows this some days ago on Sunday over the weekend. And it's driven by an increase in housing rents and food prices. So housing rents rose by 10.7% in August, weighing on the overall rises in prices of housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels by 8.9%, according to the General Authority statistics. We shall come to a tail end on SOUQ Business Landscape right now. My name is Ikenna Mbah. Remember, interact with us across all social media, especially on YouTube with the hashtag SBL. As you go about your day, remember to have a lovely Eid al-Malud. Have a blessed rest of the morning.